Hello everybody, it's Sierra, the Artsy Badger, and for today's skull drawing video, we're drawing a giraffe skull. Let's get to it! So, if I'm being completely honest about this drawing, I was feeling pretty uninspired today, which is really too bad since giraffe skulls are probably the first skull that set me off on this journey of drawing unusual looking skulls. But anyway, let's just get on with the video. So, what makes these skulls so crazy looking is that they have horns. And on top of that, they've got these weird lumpy bumps on their nose. I couldn't really find anything about the lumpy bumps on their nose. I'm not assuming anything. I have no idea why they're there. But in my research of trying to find what these lumpy bumps are for, I found an article about why giraffes have horns. And to be honest, I had never thought about why giraffes have horns. It had never concerned me that giraffes have horns. For those of you that don't know, horned and/or antlered creatures are fundamentally different. A antlered creature is growing antlers out of a bone-like material, but it's more akin to like your fingernails maybe, and they shed them annually. But with horns, you are born with the ability to grow them or are born with them, and they never fall off. They might keep growing in size, but they don't ever fall off. But pretty much, the reason it's so unusual that a giraffe would have horns is because its descendants all have antlers. So if you look at the evolutionary tree, things that came before giraffes, aka things that are closest related to giraffes, all that jazz, they all have antlers. So why would a giraffe have horns? So as I was doing my research, I found out that it's because they don't think that they're necessarily horns exactly. They think they might be the stumps of the antlers that used to grow there, but they don't serve any purpose anymore. This happens a lot in evolution where it doesn't necessarily start off as perfect, and it's more energy to get rid of something than to just keep it as kind of a useless part of the body. Kind of like how we still have a tailbone. We don't need tails anymore because we don't climb up in the trees, but our descendants had tails. And now we just have this little itty bitty tailbone that shows that we used to have tails at one point in our evolutionary line. So giraffes are kind of the same, I guess. They have the remnants of having antlers, but no antlers. And that's because antlers would be much too dangerous of a way to fight for giraffes. Antlers are very important to the shorter-necked ungulates for fighting for mates and territory, etc. But for giraffes, they actually fight by banging their necks together, which is kind of interesting. There's lots of videos online where you can watch that in action. It's pretty cool. It's very unusual. Giraffes in general are just unusual, am I right? But anyway, I just thought I would share that fun little fact with you because I learned something new while doing this drawing. So even though I don't think the drawing is the most successful, I don't hate it. I just don't feel like I was very inspired by it. I actually decided to stick with just general graphite shading. I did line it with one of my microns. Not really sure why, it was just a stylistic choice, I suppose. But I like overall the way it looks. I haven't worked with just graphite in such a long time. I used to exclusively work that way, and I kind of missed it. So even though it started off as a very uninspired piece, I learned a lot and got to practice something that I used to really enjoy. that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.